Today, I'm going to answer the question, what is it like moving to Utah from Hawaii? Due to the cost of living in Hawaii, for many years now, people have been forced to leave their island home. And COVID-19 has just made things worse. Hawaii relies heavily upon tourism, and thanks to the coronavirus, tourists have been unable to visit the islands. As someone who passionately loves Hawaii and the people who live there, it's heartbreaking to see. Aloha, I'm Ty the Real Estate Guy, and if you'd like to stay up to date on the latest real estate tips and trends, subscribe to my channel below and ring that little bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Okay, so Utah is a wonderful place to live, but it's not for everyone. In today's video, I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of living in Utah. But before I get started, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, or you're welcome to call, text, or email me anytime. I'll gladly help you find the location that best fits your lifestyle and the perfect home. And when you work with me, you'll be treated like you're part of my ohana. Where does my deep connection with Hawaii come from? Well, back in 1997, I went to college at BYU Hawaii on the north shore of Oahu. In a few short years, I grew to passionately love the local people. Hawaiians are the friendliest people I know, and I personally strive daily to live that aloha spirit. While in Hawaii, I fully embrace the Hawaiian lifestyle, learning how to surf and fire knife dance, among other things. My heart continually aches to go back to my island home. And when I say home, yes, I do own a property on the north shore of Oahu where all began for me. I tell you this so you know that I know how hard it is to leave. So let's start by comparing Hawaii to Utah. There are some huge advantages for Hawaiians moving to Utah. Number one, the cost of living in Utah is much lower than what it is in Hawaii. For those who sell their home in Hawaii, they can often pay cash for a much larger and newer house here in Utah, or at least have the ability to put down a huge down payment. The median list price for houses in Hawaii right now is around $635,000, with an average above $500 per square feet. To me, that's just crazy. In Utah, the median home sales price is around $370,000, which is about half of what you'll pay in Hawaii. But here in Utah, you can get a much bigger home for your money, as our cost per square foot is less than $170. So when you move to Utah from Hawaii, you get a lot more house for your money. And for those of you who are paying rent, you may be able to buy a home for the first time in your life, as the monthly payment to own a home in Utah is significantly lower than what it costs to pay rent in Hawaii. So how much can you buy a house for here in Utah? Realistically, you can find a home here for sale in the $350,000 to $400,000 price range. With mortgage rates where they are today, that would put your total house payment, including taxes and insurance, at $2,000 or less. That being said, the cost of living in Utah is quickly increasing as people continue to move here in record numbers. Long story short, a move from Hawaii to Utah can be financially beneficial in a way that will drastically increase your quality of life. For those of you that don't know, the advantages of home ownership significantly outweigh the benefits of paying rent. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but I will put a link to my video on renting versus buying a home below. Another bonus is that Hawaii is just a short flight from Utah. I can jump on an airplane at 8 a.m. and be in Hawaii by noon, or take a red-eye flight from Hawaii and be to Utah in the morning. So if you're leaving family and friends behind, you're just a quick flight away. And at $400 to $800 per flight, it's fairly affordable too. Let's talk about traffic real quick. Yes, I've been stuck in that horrible rush hour traffic in Honolulu, and I've spent time at a complete standstill on both the Like and the Kamehameha Highway. But none of that compares to what it's like to drive here. Utah is notorious for bad traffic, bad drivers, and it seems like our roads are always under construction. Utah is growing fast, so they're always repairing, expanding, or building new roads. A huge plus of moving to Utah is our job market. If you're looking for employment, I have great news for you. Utah consistently has one of the best job markets in the country. So there's a really good chance you'll be able to quickly find a high-paying job. Due to the insane job growth from the tech industry, banking, healthcare, and, well, really there's too many to name, Utah's unemployment rate continues to be among the lowest in the country. These crazy low unemployment numbers are making Utah's job market competitive, forcing companies to pay you better. So that's amazing. I have a quick question. Why are you considering a move to Utah? Seriously, I want to know. Please leave a comment below. Also, if you find this information useful, will you please give me a thumbs up? I would appreciate that more than you know, and that thumbs up will help others see that this video is helpful. Mahalo. What about politics? Well, I don't love to talk politics, but it can't be ignored, especially when comparing Utah to Hawaii. Utah is one of the most Republican-dominated states in the US, and Hawaii is heavily Democratic. So when you move here, the political landscape is quite different. For many of you, it'll be refreshing, and for some, it may be unbearable. It is what it is, but I should warn you that Utahns will fight to keep things the way they are. If you're very liberal, there's a very good chance you won't like it here. That being said, there are a few locations around the state that are less conservative. While we're on the subject of Utahns, you'll be glad to know that just like Hawaiians, the people who live here are very friendly. The people who live in Utah fully embrace the island culture, and they'll be excited to greet you. The diversity in Utah is lacking, but Utah's not a racist place, especially towards the Polynesian people. Polynesians have been moving to Utah for many years now, and we all have friends who have moved here from the islands. Sadly, just like anywhere else in the world, racism exists. But I rarely, if ever, see racism. As a matter of fact, I think Utahns are very open and curious about other cultures, striving not to judge others for being different. I should also talk about the Mormons real quick, since approximately 50% of the people who live in Utah are Mormon or belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people that I talk to are concerned about living among the Mormons, but I can say with complete confidence that this is not something to be concerned about, and you may actually prefer it. At least that's what I've seen with many who move here that do not belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Mormons, or members of the LDS faith, are very accepting, honest, hardworking, and they love to serve their community. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if half the neighborhood shows up to help you move into your new home. I'm not kidding. Utahns are also very generous. Utah is the #1 state for the percentage of residents who donate their time and their money. Utah is an incredibly safe place to live. Our violent crime rate is well below the national average. Theft, on the other hand, is nothing to brag about, but I think the higher theft is due to the fact that many Utahns just leave their stuff lying around, making it too easy for thieves. If you put your stuff away and lock things up like most people do in other states, you should be just fine. Where I live in Eagle Mountain, I rarely hear about any kind of theft or violent crimes. Utah seems almost immune to the evil things happening around the world, including high taxes. The nightlife in Utah is seriously lacking. If you like bars and clubs, Utah might not be the place for you. Unless you're coming from Oahu, or maybe more specifically Honolulu or Waikiki, this probably isn't a problem because you probably prefer a quieter lifestyle. We're also seriously lacking when it comes to professional sports. We only have the Utah Jazz and the Real Salt Lake. But once again, this is a huge step up from the professional sports you won't get in Hawaii. Utah has loads of entertainment for kids and families, from indoor activity centers to the great outdoors. When it comes to nature and outdoor activities, it's tough to beat what Utah has to offer. We have 5 national parks, and each one of them is amazing and unique in their own way. Seriously, people come from all over the world to visit these amazing locations. And our majestic mountains provide loads of hiking and biking trails, many of which lead to some of the most beautiful waterfalls you'll ever see. We also have loads of clean streams, lakes, and rivers. But I know what you're thinking. This all seems fine and dandy, but none of it compares to what Hawaii has to offer. Am I right? Did I just read your mind? Well, I have bad news. You are correct. Hawaii has the most amazing beaches, hikes, waterfalls, and of course, that beautiful ocean that offers too many amazing activities to name. Honestly, all I can say is that Utah will offer you loads of new and amazing experiences, totally different from what you'll get on the island. So when you move to Utah, you'll need to trade in that surfboard for a snowboard. There's no way for me to sugarcoat it. Utah can get cold and snowy. To be honest, the weather here is bipolar, especially in the spring and fall. So you pretty much need to bring your jacket anywhere you go. Unfortunately, when you move to Utah, you'll be saying bye-bye to that year-round sunshine and trading it in for the 4 seasons and probably a white Christmas. You'll also be trading in that 78-degree average temperature for sub-freezing temperatures in the winter and scorching hot summers. Yes, summertime temperatures in Utah will breach 100 degrees. Now, I'm gonna stop right here because I don't want my videos to be too long, but I have loads of videos on what it's like to live in Utah. So if you're seeking more information, I'll put links to my other Utah videos below. If you're planning to move to Utah or just visit and you're looking for fun things to do, I have another YouTube channel that shows you what it's like to do many of the exciting activities here in this great state of Utah. Seriously, you'll want to check it out. I'll put a link to that channel below as well. If you have questions about buying, selling, or building a home here in Utah, I would love to talk with you. Please feel free to contact me directly. If there's something in this video that stood out to you as being helpful, please let me know by commenting below. If you have questions or if I left something out, help the community by leaving a remark below as well. Sincerely, I want to hear from you. If you know someone who's thinking about moving to Utah, be a friend and share this video with them. And please, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty, the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Much mahalo for watching, and don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.